Hello, and thank you for volunteering with Beans. This video will help orient you to the equipment you will be using. Remember to allow 20 to 30 minutes for setting up at the school and familiarizing yourself with the presentation, so time your departure appropriately. Before you go, you will receive an email copy of the presentation instructions checklist with when and where you will present. So make sure you look up where you're going and coordinate with your partner. This attractive rolling briefcase includes everything you need for your presentation. 3 to 5 days beforehand, make an appointment to pick it up, and then 1 to 2 days beforehand, pick up the equipment. You can do so at Y3.234 or Y3.202. Here are the carrels, here's the library, and here's the Y building. The entrance to the Y building is right next to the Sprague carrels. Here's room 234 and 202. Equipment should be returned within 2 hours of your last presentation. Contact one of the Beans officers if you can't do so. Upon retrieving the rolling briefcase, open it to make sure everything that's supposed to be inside is inside. The contents should include projector, user manual, cable bag, computer, and clicker box. The clicker box contains 50 turning point clickers. The turning point clickers are the same ones we use in class. Be sure to count the clickers before you hand them out and once again after you pick them back up. Inside the cable bag you will find VGA cable, projector power cord, computer power cord, laser pointer, and turning point receiver. Let's look at the laser pointer a bit more carefully. This is what you will use to advance through slides. Notice that on the back, there is a USB insert that acts as the receiver for the laser pointer. It has a sticker of a happy pea on it. Connect the power cord to the computer, the power cord to the projector, and the VGA cable to the projector and the computer. Now turn on the projector and make sure the sliding lens cover is open all the way. Just a note, many presentations that you give will be in school gyms, so they often won't have a whiteboard or white screen for you to use. You may have to get creative, but just try to project onto a blank wall that is located somewhat near a power source. When you open the computer, you'll see that there are really handy instructions taped to the surface. They recapitulate important points from this introductory video. Let's take a look at this one. After turn on computer, it instructs you to enter password. This is somewhat misleading because there is no password. Let's continue. Now take the laser pointer and plug it in to the computer with the happy pea sticker facing away from you. You should see a light shining towards you. Plug in the turning point receiver behind the laser pointer receiver. So the turning point receiver should be closer to the kids, and the laser pointer receiver should be closer to you. Also, you should plug in the turning point receiver before opening the turning point program. If you open the program first, the receiver may not work. Now, when you turn on the computer, it will prompt you for a password. But remember that there is no password, so just press OK. This is what you will see. Obviously, the first thing we'll do is open Turning Point. This is what you will see upon opening Turning Point. Now you can open the correct file. Go to the Beans Program Archive, and let's choose the Good Gulps presentation. This is the first slide of the presentation, and it prompts you to do 3 things. We've already done the first. Now you'll probably give a few presentations back to different classes at the school, so the second and third things must be done at the start of every presentation you give. So hit save, and if you're giving your first presentation of the day, you will probably see this box, in which case you're good to go. If you're on your second presentation or third, then you will see this box. Just leave whatever file name is suggested and hit save. Now we need to reset the session. This clears the data from the previous session. Hit reset on the top left, and choose Session from the drop-down menu. Now start the slideshow and advance until you see this slide. This is where you test the turning point system to make sure it works. On the top right, you should see a green box that says Polling Open. If it says Polling Closed, click on this icon to reset the polling. After the end of the polling time, it will close and you can see your number of responses here. During the presentation, if this number is less than half of your audience, some of the clickers may not be working. You may choose to reset the question and try again, or reset the clickers. This slide is at the end of each presentation and has the instructions to reset clickers. You can also just have kids raise their hands. After each question and answer, you can see a bar graph summary of responses. So let's look at another example. This question asks, "What's your favorite drink?" Let the kids read the question or read it to them, and click to start the timer. Click again to start the countdown. And if most of the audience has responded, you can interrupt the countdown by clicking again. Click once more to show the bar graph results. So that's how you operate the interactive parts of the presentation. There are other slides that contain a mixture of questions that gauge nutritional habits, or slides about info, like the difference between natural and added sugar, or why you should be worried about having too much added sugar in drinks. After your presentation is over, be sure to save and safely remove all the hardware, and then turn off the projector. It can take a really long time to turn off, so just keep pressing. You'll get there. Thanks for volunteering!